Good morning. Mike Scott here, the film critic at the Times-Picayune in New Orleans and NOLA.com. Welcome back to the Movie Cave for today's Popcorn Breakfast. Today is Thursday, February 5th, 2015. And we'll start today with Elvis and Nixon, the historical comedy currently shooting in New Orleans and recounting that famous 1970 Oval Office meeting between President Richard Nixon and the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. The director Liza Johnson's film is currently making the rounds at the Berlin Film Festival, searching for foreign buyers. And so, consequently, The Hollywood Reporter this week unveiled the first photo from the film. Here's a quick look at it here. That's Kevin Spacey as the president and Michael Shannon as the king. Johnson's film also co-stars Colin Farrell, Johnny Knoxville, Alex Pettyfer, Sky Ferreira, and others. Now, there's no release date yet for it. The film is still in production. It's set to shoot through February 13th. But you can find out more about Elvis and Nixon and get a closer look at that photo at thr.com. And moving on a little bit to other Hollywood South-related news, last night was a big one for the New Orleans-shot Dawn of the Planet of the Apes at the VES Awards, the Visual Effects Society Awards. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes walked away with 3 awards, including the big one of the night, and that's Best Visual Effects in a Visual Effects-Driven Live-Action Film. That's a mouthful of a title if ever there was one. And this one actually corresponds pretty well to the Academy Awards Visual Effects Award. So this gives Dawn of the Planet of the Apes a boost going into Oscars, and it's actually a much-needed boost for fans of local film, as this is really the only Oscar category this year in which we have a local film competing. Now, over in the VES's animated category, the big award went to Disney's Big Hero 6, which further throws some more uncertainty in Oscar's animated feature race. Going into last night's VES Awards, How to Train Your Dragon 2 was seen as at least a slight favorite. Now it's a little bit closer to neck and neck between How to Train Your Dragon 2 and Big Hero 6 to bring home the Oscar. And then finally today, looking ahead at the weekend box office, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, is expected to finally end the 3-week reign of American Sniper atop the box office. But many eyes are looking forward to next week when 50 Shades of Grey debuts at the box office. According to Variety, early tracking suggests the adaptation of the literary phenomenon by E.L. James is expected to pull down some $60 million in its opening frame. That's not too shabby for a film that cost just $40 million to make. Although Variety points out that the tracking on this one in particular is a little hard to figure, given that nobody's really sure how comfortable audiences are going to be going to the theaters to see an erotic romance as notorious as this one is, even though many of the more graphic scenes have been cut from the movie. If nothing else, though, 50 Shades of Grey has impeccable timing. It lands in theaters on February 13th, just in time for the Valentine's Day weekend. And that's all the time I have for today. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.